the history of PR. So Samuel Adams had 6 techniques that are still used today, and they are the activist organization, the use of symbols and slogans, the use of staged events, timing, and the use of sustained saturation. So the most recently, the more big one, his like kind of nickname was a father of the PR, grandfather of PR, and his name was Edward L. Bernays. Was the grandfather of PR. He wrote the first textbook for PR, and he taught the first course for PR. His wife did help him a lot, but she didn't really get enough recognition. At least I don't think she did. And he was Sigmund Freud's nephew. Oh. To tie in public relations and education, there is 10 functions that PR contains. So that's press agency, advertising, employee communication, public affairs, issues management, investor relations, and development. The 3 that we're going to be talking today in class is publicity, crisis management, and lobbying. So here's a little more on all those 3.
Now we're going to talk about the role of PR in education. PR plays a vital role in education. It's important for creating a positive public image of a school or institution. Lobbying plays an important role in securing and funding and implementing appropriate rules for students to follow. Crisis communication is an essential component of PR education, as it provides a framework for how entities respond to negative aspects that arise. Lastly, publicity, both negative and positive, is instrumental in how actions by these entities are perceived.
When crisis strikes, communication is vital to maintain a company's or institution's reputation. When crisis struck at Michigan State in 1997 and allegations came against Larry Nassar that he was abusing some of the patients he treated, Michigan State's answer to this crisis was not to communicate it. Instead, they hid it for years, 20 plus, until it got out into the major news and the crisis elevated. Since then, both the athletic director and the president of the university have had to step down in wake of the situation, and Michigan State has developed a website updating the community on the Larry Nassar situation, the NCAA investigations, and as well as giving statements from the president that now has resigned directly to the students about this situation at Michigan State.
So another important aspect to public relations is publicity. And this is unique in that it can be negative or positive, and that's how the public identifies what's going on with certain actions in regard to your school or entity. Case study we found for this was the University of Missouri. Now, in the later part of 2015, the university had protests going on that had support from the football team where they were trying to highlight racial injustices happening on their campus. And it was nonviolent, it was peaceful, and ultimately had good sanctions to it, because 2 days after they had gotten involved, the university president stepped down, citing the racial injustice and hoping to push this to spark a change. Now, what makes this unique is when we compare it to Ryan's case with Michigan State, where administrators, officials, and coaches had kind of swept the issues under the rug. University of Missouri coaches had actually put out on social media support and pictures of their players protesting, which kind of presented this unified front into the message of solidarity they were hoping to achieve.
Lobbying is an important part of PR. It usually has a negative connotation, but it's not always bad. In education specifically, lobbying plays a huge part. The biggest education lobbying group in America is the American Federation for Teachers. Currently, in West Virginia, teachers are striking across the entire state and have been striking for more than a week. The strike is organized by the West Virginia Educators Association. The teachers are pushing for more new legislation that will pass through the House and Senate and will give them a 5% pay increase to account for the cost of living as it rises over the next few years.
Advertising in education is unique because, for the most part, it's non-existent. From kindergarten through 12th grade, advertising isn't very important. You go to the school that you're in the area code for. It's different for private schools, but for the majority of students, especially in the United States, you don't really have to advertise your school to get students to go there. Once you reach higher education and college, that's where advertising plays a major role in luring prospective students to your university. For example, all of us students are here making this project because we learned through some form of advertising about Washington State University, about their programs, and about what they offered for us. Advertising can be simple and advertising can be easy. Sports teams are natural advertisers for a university. Every university almost has higher enrollment after a major sports victory. If you're looking for additional advertising, the next time your team's playing a major sporting event, check the commercials. I guarantee both schools will have
Education is a vital component in progressing a human's life forward, and PR is just essential to promoting education and seeing that flourish. Through the cases we prescribed earlier to you, we've seen how positive PR can benefit an institution and education in general into a light where people come out the better. And through negative examples like Michigan State, we can see how the benefits of it are completely dismantled and the institution is brought back to this ground level that contradicts the whole nature of what education is there for, and that is educating the masses and promoting an intellectual